We'll call the meeting to order. We're just gonna have a very, very short little business meeting. And really, the only business we've got is just to have a couple election things taken care of. And on our board, Dorothy Peterson's eligible for a second 3-year term, and she's indicated that she's willing to do that. And Elaine Zellers' at-large term expired. She's going to become the Buffalo City Cochrane Area Historical Society representative, so we will vote on that one. But Jean Hofer is going to switch with her now, and Jean Hofer is agreed to serve as an at-large board member. So the board of directors of your organization has nominated Dorothy Peterson for a second 3-year term, and Jean Hofer as an at-large board member. Are there any other nominations that anybody else wants to make as far as membership? If there are not any other nominations, I would ask if somebody would like to make a motion to close the nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for those 2 persons. All you gotta do is raise your hand and say yes. Oh,
I'll make a motion.
all right, and you're seconding?
Yep.
All right, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now, isn't that the kind of business meeting that we all like? We're all done. Now we can get to the good stuff. And for the good stuff, we're going to talk about first, just briefly, Kelly Harold's going to bring us up to date on what's really been going on in the Historical Society. And I think what's been happening for the last year has been really exciting. The Historical Society is doing so much more now. We've got regular office hours every day. There's all kinds of activity going on in our office down there, and all kinds of things happening. Kelly.
I get to come up and talk in front of all you guys. I don't know, I think pretty much all you get are newsletters, so that'll keep you mostly up to date. And you may have seen the last one, I put the comment in there that when I started as director last year, Leanne told me that winter is always the easiest time to get through. There's hardly anything, nobody's coming in, there aren't a lot of people coming in and that, and you can get a lot of work done in the office. And so this winter has been it must be the busiest winter we've ever had. So that of course means that which is a great thing. I guess when I started last year, we were open 2 days a week, Wednesday and Thursday from noon to 5. Right now we're open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. So I mean that's a difference between 10 hours and I believe it's 32 hours a week, so over three times the office hours. Last year we had some really big events. We had the Buffalo County Sesquicentennial, and I know a lot of you guys actually came up and visited either that day or sometime after that. If you notice in the hallway, there's all these pictures along the wall. Those were put up last August for the Sesquicentennial. Every one of those pictures is in the book that Mary Ann Pattison wrote in 1993, which is also for sale in the office for $24.95. So there's actually, on this floor there's only about 40 pictures, and on the lower floor there's about 40 pictures. If you really wanted to go down to the lower floor today and look at more, we could always have somebody go down with you. It's not locked off for us or anything, so people can look. Even then, we're still not even a fourth of the pictures in the book. So of course the book is the best way to look at it, and you can take a look at that over there. The biographical history book that came out not last December, but December before. Our sales have been great on that. I think we have 666 or 662 books sold so far. We still have more. Those are still $65 a piece.
Are the pictures from downstairs in the book too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they are. The biographical history book, of course, is 392 pages, and when we counted last year, we had 950 photographs in it. So if you can imagine that, I mean, that's a lot of photographic history alone, and most of those are family photos. So that's the other things that we did in the last year. We just about are done with our obituary sorting project. You may have seen in the newspapers a while ago I put that we were having an obituary sorting party. We did one at Alma, and then we did one in Cochrane. And So the Alma Historical Society, there were people from there that helped out, and people from the Cochrane Buffalo City Historical Society, Buffalo City Cochrane Historical Society that helped out. We even had people come out from as far away as Winona and Arcadia to help, which was just wonderful. It was a lot of fun. Quick Trip donated food. I think when we had the Cochrane one, everybody just brought bars and stuff, so we had kind of a little potluck dinner and that there. And as of right now, we've got all of them sorted except Rethel's working on the S's at home, so, and that's of course the biggest one. But if you want to look when we're done here in our office, we've got, I think it's 6 3-inch binders with just obituaries in them. And there's anywhere from 1 to 5 or 6 obituaries to a page. And I think when we counted before, we had close to 5,000 of them, so we haven't indexed them yet. That's the next step. So if anybody wants to volunteer to do that, that's another fun thing. So that's another project that we're in the middle of. This summer, we're also doing what's called a Chautauqua, and that will be July 24th. The Chautauqua was really popular in probably the late teens, early 20s in this area. Basically what it was a learning experience where they hired a group to come in. Somebody told me it sounds like a circus, but instead of all entertainment, it was speakers, musical entertainment, and there would be different games for kids and things, so it was kind of an educational experience instead of just an entertainment thing. We're going to do like a mini Chautauqua, and we've got already lined up, we've got, let's see, how to do the wash and dry your clothes. Well, drying the clothes is the easy part probably. I just found out from Rethel today that somebody might be coming to show how to do spinning wool, which should be kind of interesting. And then we've got some other people doing living history demonstrations, rope making. I don't know if you remember any other ones offhand, Gary. Flint knapper.
Maybe some black powder.
Yeah, we're talking about doing black powder demonstrations so people can see what it was like to shoot an old black powder rifle. That will be pretty much during the day. We're going to also have a benefit auction that day, along with door prizes every hour or so. We'll have a drawing for that. There'll also be a meal, basically an old-time farm meal. That I think will be a lot of fun.
It'll be at the Elmerod Gun Club.
At the Elmerod Gun Club, that is. So watch your papers for that, of course. And then, let's see, I'm trying to think what else we've been doing. So we've been so busy. I just got back last night, about midnight, from a genealogy seminar. And one of the things that I got from that I'd really love to do in this county is excavate a privy. We actually had a speaker, and I had to bring this today. Yes, I am. We had a speaker who's he's got an archaeology degree, and his daughter is an archaeologist. They live in Illinois. And when I talked to him after he was done speaking and mentioned that we've been working with different historic homes and that, and I think it would be a fun project to do, he told me that La Crosse is really well known for their archaeology department. So he said there may be a possibility that we could get somebody that's a graduate student or close to it from there to come up and do the professional part of it on an internship basis, where we maybe wouldn't even have to pay them. And they would be able to earn credits towards their graduation for it. So you guys have to watch the newspaper for that now too. So. But otherwise, I guess if you guys have any questions quick on what's been happening in the last year and what's coming up, I guess I'd like to field any of those right now before we get too involved.
Yeah, mention that the Elma Historical Society's annual meeting is next month,
Yep.
and we're going to have that.
Yep, and that's May 18th, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be at St. John's Lutheran Church now, because the two places that I wanted to have it at are both busy. Well, one's not busy, but he's not going to be here, so. And that speaker is also talking about outhouses. It's called The Inside Story of Outhouses, and we had scheduled it in December, and it got canceled, so. Outhouses really draw a crowd. I've gotten calls from all over, as far away as the northwestern metro area. So Over 100 miles away, people have called to find out when this man is coming back to speak. So, yeah, that's something that is kind of exciting coming up too, and that I think will lead into, maybe that'll get me some volunteers. So, the other thing you just made me think of is we've also been working with the Fountain City Society on the Gerke House, and I don't know if all you guys know about the Gerke House, but it's a house that was built 1853 or earlier. We just met with architects again last week, and we're going to be meeting this week on the historical part of the house, just to get some details ironed out on the history of it. And it was the first courthouse in Buffalo County also, so the county actually rented for $15 a year space in their house to use as a courthouse, and we're assuming they still lived in the space and it just was used, for court at times, but and county board meetings, which of course they only had once a year or so back then. So, any other questions? If not, I guess what I should do is introduce our speakers for today. Is it speaker or speakers? Rudy and Elaine Zeller have basically owned a grocery store and more in Cochran for over 50 years now. And my favorite, and I don't want to take this out of your thing, but you showed it to me the other day. So my favorite was, she said the other day, we've been in business for 50 years together and we're still married. So, I think that's a good shows you how well things have worked out for them. So they know their place. And they've also been, you guys both have lived in Buffalo County your whole lives, right? So we thought it would be fun to have them talk about what it's been like to be in business all this time, and also what it's been like to see all the changes. I mean, you guys must have started when you were what, a couple of years old?
Yeah.
So yeah, all the changes that have happened in the last 50 years or so. So you guys would like, this is Elaine, and where did Rudy go?
Right here.
Oh, there you are. I figured you guys would be sitting next to each other.
Not all together that way.
Well, I'm Elaine, that's my dear Rudy, and we've just I've been married 50, I've been married 54 years. Can't even remember that. But it's been great, we've had a good life, and like I say, we've worked side by side, and like somebody said, oh, could you stand it? I said, well, we didn't fight, we just worked together. Didn't have time to fight. We had to keep working. So, I guess I'll just tell you my life first. I'm the boss.
For a few moments.
A few minutes. I was born out in Cream, lived on a farm. I was a farmer's daughter, and never thought I'd ever get into grocery business or working with people. But it's been great. And we got married, and we went to high school together, but that was another story. And we got married in 1950 and bought the store in 54. So now Rudy can tell about his side of the family, where he came from.
Okay, I was born, I guess you would say, the little Walmart up where the garden by the creamery was, that's a little above Walmart. My dad was the butter maker there. Actually, I started in the grocery business, I would say, in 1943, when I was in high school. I worked for A. Chittle. Some of your older people remember the name of the one we started. Worked for them for about 3 years. And he got sick, and then my dad, she talked my dad and my brother into taking over the store, so I worked for them, I guess, about 5 years. And then old great Uncle Sam says, Sonny, I need you. So you know how all those guys went. Spent there 2 years in service, come back, and for a year and a half, I guess, we kind of helped your folks on the farm a little bit. And the store, Cochran was for sale, so thought, well, maybe that's what we should do, is go in the store at Walmart, because that's about all I ever did. So the first thing I talked to my dad about it, he says, yeah. And I said, well, you got some money for me? And he said, no, I ain't got any money for you. I got my money all invested here. He said, you want money? Go down the road here. He says, stop by one of these farmers down the road. They got a lot of money. They say, well, they want to give away, or not shouldn't they give away, but loan out, the banks didn't pay any interest at that time either. So Tom, I go stop to him, and he said, yeah, how much money you want? I said, well, I don't know so about that. And I guess it wasn't that much at that time. It was maybe $5,000 because I had a little bit of money. I had $500 in the bank, people. I had money. So I said, well, what am I going to pay for interest here? But, oh, he said, give me 3% interest, and I'll be real satisfied. Well, I have to show anything in for backup on this. Have your old man sign it. And he says, when you want the money, it'll be at the bank. Okay, that's how it started. So my dad says, next thing you do, you better go to the bank to see if the bank will give you any money in copper. So I went down and talked to the banker, and he said, we'll talk to the board of directors. The board of directors come back the next day, and he said, I don't think we'll give you any money. I don't know if you're going to make it or not. So I didn't really care because I had my money. So the next, I guess, I don't know exactly when it was, but I think the 15th of February, we took over the store. That started with water from Art and Hilda Lennon. Then we started, everything went pretty good, so we kept going, and I think, about 2 years later.
You were at a different location than.
Yeah, actually, we're in Montville at that time. That was
There was a room
small.
about as big as this. Not even that big.
Then that was what the Red Out Agency, and they said, well, you should really expand a little, be a little bigger, so I guess Howard Monk got to move this back a ways. We got another 15 or 20 feet. Things went really better then, because we had more room, more things. So then, about 59, we thought we needed something bigger. And the home store was for sale then, wanted somebody to take over that, so went down to the bank this time, and the bank says, yeah, we need somebody to take that over. And I said, okay, if you give me this money, you give me another $5,000, I want to tear the front of this building up. So we all went along with this good, so we remodeled the whole front of the store. Then we got going pretty good, and things started picking up, and we went more into business, more things all the time. Then we remodeled once more inside, redid it, lowered the ceiling, took care of the sidewalls, and things all went pretty good. Then I suppose we should go into a little bit difference. And first thing I got on the list was milk. You know, back in '54, I think we had about this much space in the cooler is all we had for milk. Because people didn't buy milk, and I was going to compare prices of milk. You know, we didn't even have a gallon of milk in our place at that time. I think all you had was about 2 or 3 half gallons and a dozen quarts. You know. Yeah, it was all home delivered at that time. You know, a little half and half, but as it goes now, you can see how much more milk. Well, I mean, a lot of people never been in my store, but I suppose I don't know how many times we see it double it, but we really sell more milk. I sell more gallons of milk than we did everything together nowadays. Out of the weekends, we buy 150 cases of milk, which is still a lot of milk nowadays. But the prices was really gone up. Nobody could tell me what they paid for a quart of milk either, I'm sure, 50 years ago. Another thing that we was really thinking of, the sizes too, like gallons of milk. Who would buy a gallon of milk back in them days? Nobody would buy a gallon of milk. Most people didn't have hardly refrigerators at that time to even keep it. And I said, like ground beef, there's another thing that has really gone up. The price of that, I'm sure we sold ground beef for 49 cents or 39 in the first years. And always sold it off on 3 pounds for $1. Now it's $1.79 a pound for good Hampshire. $2.29, you see a lot of places for real lean stuff. And then we get into frozen stuff. Frozen stuff is one that's really going. I think we had a little freezer about this about that long and about that wide, and that's all we had frozen stuff too when we started there. We had a few boxes, and say, little 1 pound boxes of frozen peas, corn, a few vegetables, and a few strawberries, and a little ice cream. That's all you kept in the frozen. That's one thing that's really gone. Now look at your pizza. How much pizza? People ever hear of pizza 50 years ago? Maybe that's something some foreign countries had or something like that at that time. In your TV dinners. And look at all the ice cubes you sell nowadays. Years ago, you wouldn't sell an ice cube. You couldn't buy one to start with. And we, Elaine and I was talking about Jell-O the other day. When we sold Jell-O for
It was like 6 or 7 cents a box,
a box,
and now it's 67 cents a box.
some of these prices are really gone.
Toothpicks, I can't remember what they sell for now, but I think they were like 5 cents a box
Oh,
when we started, and I know they're up in the 60, 70 cents. They have to be. It's unbelievable.
Right?
It should be increased a lot more than milk.
Yeah, really, yeah, some prices, it's really something to, how that's really gone up in price. And the consumption is so much more when people buy. Potatoes, say, potatoes is one thing. How many people raise potatoes? I know you sell more 5-pound sweet potatoes than you do. That's all you ever sell is 5, 10 pounds, something like that nowadays. This, I could make a couple other little remarks too. Red tokens for meat. I actually, in our store, I didn't sell, but when I used to work for Hills, I can remember what meat rationing was. You had red tokens for them, and sugar, shoes. I can't remember, does anybody remember, was vegetables, canned vegetables?
They were blue.
Blue, but did you use them for vegetables? Yeah, I did.
Not fresh,
Yeah, canned.
All canned.
Coffee.
And he always wanted to
Coffee,
buy
yeah,
all
coffee
the,
was-
all the blue ones right away.
Well, the coffee did, some old years long there, you couldn't hardly buy coffee either. Some of these are kind of hard to remember. I was kind of young when all these, some of these things happened.
I switched to whiskey when we couldn't get.
And another thing on your district kicks too, I put on here. I can still remember when we had out at Wamedy at Hills yet, when we had one customer that used to come with actually he had a pair of trotters. He came to the store with his buggy, with his team of trotters. I don't know, his first name was, but his last name was Netting. He lived back in Tesh Valley.
Bill.
Oh, yeah, Jane lives on the place back there.
Yeah.
He came, used to come down with them pair of trotters he had.
Yeah, he was famous for horses.
Yeah. Other lady, you want to tell me a little about dry goods or some other things?
Well, it was a new venture going from the little store to the big one, and then going into fabric and yarns and all the sewing needs. It's really been sort of tricky. But I know I get lost in buying fabric because I buy too much. But if you don't have a variety, you might as well not have any. That's my feelings of that kind of thing. And it's been going pretty well. I have ladies that come from Dodge, from Winona, that come to buy fabric. They're big quilters, and they said, oh, we got a better supply here than you have in Winona. Well, there's only one store in Winona, and that's the Cinderella shop. And so I feel like we've been doing very well with the dry goods. And there's a few things.
Sweatshirts too, we make.
Pardon?
Your sweatshirts are wonderful.
Yeah,
Now,
thank
there's
you.
a lot of sweatshirts.
Yeah, oh God, I wonder how many we really sold.
Oh, hundreds,
More than
thousands. I know people will come from Missouri to buy them.
that.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of them, take them back with them.
Yeah. Sweatshirts and t-shirts but it's sort of, I think, a changing trend, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the gas stations and convenience stores, they all are into the t-shirt and sweatshirt line. So it gets a little hairy, but otherwise it's been going real well. But we're out of the shoes, we're out of overhauls, we're out of work shirts, and I haven't really missed them. But it was okay. And sometimes I wish we had them, but then they can go to Walmart, shop at Kmart. They can go to all these other places that really are into it. And all I can say is that it's a heck of a lot easier job than loading hay bales. And I've done that many, many years. So, when you're the only child, you should get looked into everything. And when we had our two boys that we adopted, we had Grandma Bienefeld up the street, and she was the most precious lady. Henry and Hank, they babysat for us. And to this day, they want the egg sandwich with Grandma Bienefeld made. And the other day I tried to make, did I make it for you? Oh, I was gonna make one anyhow. You beat up the egg, and then you put it in the pan, and it gets big like that, and then you put mayonnaise on the bread, flop the egg over, and put it in there, and that's the way they eat it. Well, that's just a few of the things that go through your life. And, we've had very, very good customers, very good friends, made a lot of friends. And as example, we have a couple here from Menominee, Kay and Dave Bernard. And she used to live in Cochrane, right? In the McHale's house, what used to be Clem Harrell's house? Is that right?
I lived in the old farmhouse, the one just up the street. The Clem Harrell house is the one my grandpa built where the barn was.
Oh, okay,
But I lived in the one where the old house.
okay. So, I think it's very nice for them to come to hear us quack. And really, any questions? I really don't know what else.
Elaine,
Yes, dear.
I'd like to ask you, how much soda pop did you sell when you first started out?
Oh, we had
And
a-
how much did it cost, and how much do you sell now? I mean, that has to be a drastic, huge difference.
There is no comparison.
No.
Because we used to make homemade whipped cream when I was a kid at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't buy soda pop, I don't even know if it was for sale.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, you could buy it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you buy the small bottles of Coke.
Uh-huh.
And I think they were like maybe
A nickel?
nickel,
They were nickel.
nickel,
Yeah,
and
nickel.
then they,
You always buy it.
now they are $1 a bottle.
And it was a treat years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you always went over to Pearls and got at school and got a
Yeah.
nickel bottle of pop.
When did you start selling,
Pardon? Okay.
when did you start selling water? Buying water?
Oh, you didn't know that. We bottled this all up from 1965 flood.
I should say something about the flood too.
Yeah.
When the big flood was, we was, see, this far from being lost. That's how far the basement was full, up on the floor joist. About this much of the floor joist was underwater. But we survived. We
What
had
year
stores.
was that?
We never had the door closed, but we had no customers for a lot of days. They used to come from Buffalo City with boats to the store.
Is that 64?
Five.
That's when you were the last one.
They used to come over in the boat,
Yes.
Yeah, from Murray, you can come over there too.
Yeah, and then they go
right across the road. and-
back around by Moose Lake to Lois's place back there. That was all on boat. And didn't they move Delmer Bienefeld out of his house? That's right below our store on a pontoon.
Yeah, the pontoon boat there on the way down.
It was that bad. Because it just kept coming up and up.
Did you guys stay open a certain night a week that everybody would come to town and go shopping? When did that stop?
Oh, Saturday nights, that was the
Yeah.
first year, that was really big, that worked some nights 10 o'clock.
When did that stop?
Oh,
Mm.
actually, after we moved down to the other
Moved
store,
down.
that was a
Yeah.
lot less.
And then it gradually went to, the bank went to Friday nights, and
Yeah.
that's how come we did
Yeah,
it.
that killed us.
Well, no, we never had that. That was before, way before us.
No, there was 2 years when there were movies there.
Yeah, we have it in Fountain City too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free movies.
That's,
And we got one of our good employees here, Lois is here, she worked with us for many years.
How many years did you work for us? now?
26.
26 years. Yeah.
Took a long time to train her.
Rosie, and then she quit.
Tell us about Albert, the school.
What?
Oh, Albert the stool. Oh my God. Margaret, you know that. Albert Miller.
Yes.
He built us a wooden stool of that long, of that high. We use it to get into the freezers. And whenever, it's heavier than God Almighty. But that is what is Albert. We named him Albert, because and we can't lose him. But I said, God, I don't know if we sell the store, will I be able to let him? Take it with me.
67 underneath it.
I think it's 67 when he built that.
So we got quite a few years. And
It shows no wear.
we never had to refix it either.
So the kids sit on it, adults sit on it, anybody. Or else they get up and they go into the top of the freezer to get the stuff out, which is wonderful. But that Albert,
I remember the time of the S&H green staffs.
That's right,
Oh,
we
yeah.
stayed for a long time, yeah, man.
I've got things that remind me of that
A
and
lot of people do.
Yeah.
oh, we got lots of stuff from them green stamps.
A lot of good memories of the store. That's, what was this spring or a year ago? So this guy came in and he stood at me and looked at me and he said, "You're still here yet?" He said, 40 years ago was the first time that I was here with my dad. He said, "I'm up here fishing." He said, "We all rented a place in Buffalo City." He said, "Now, this year," he said, "I have been here for many, many years." He said, "I had to come back this year once, and now I brought my son along for coming up here for a weekend of fishing." A lot of people that come back that way, come in to see if you're here, still here yet.
And then they'll stand in front of you and they'll look at you because they know you, but you don't know them. It makes you feel about it. That made
That's right, they know who they're coming in to see, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Somebody got any other questions?
Yeah. What year did you say that you had the big flood?
65.
65?
Yeah.
What did you have back in the 30s?
I couldn't tell you that.
That was before the dams were in,
Yeah,
wasn't it? Didn't it?
it's when you got flooding. That's why, one of the reasons they put the dams in.
You've been listening to the government.
No, I think we had more water after the dams were in because they held it and the water couldn't get down the river either as fast.
Yeah.
There weren't as many things to make your show fast.
So I-
They were put in for navigation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were pushing for the flood.
Rudy, I think you might want to talk about produce. When I first started working at this store, you had just a real small
That's-
refrigeration for produce.
That's right, produce was another item that really, really increased that. Well, people started buying more and more lettuce and, say, apples,
Broccoli and cauliflower was one
Well,
thing
yeah.
that threw me.
and there was more available.
Right.
Years before that, there wasn't much available.
Getting back to when we moved across the street from the Monk building over to the store, we moved our stuff in grocery carts. All the canned stuff got moved in grocery carts, and the kids pushed those carts across. And usually there was somebody, some adult on the other side, I don't know,
Well, Duke Lawrence had it over there.
yeah, Duke Lawrence, that's right. And I know they commented, one kid stole a pair of shoestrings. Oh, big deal. A whole nickel's worth. And the big cases there, they put those on trailers and pushed them, moved them across the street.
I bet you don't have a lot of trouble with shoplifting, do you? That's small.
You have a store, don't you?
Do you not?
You have shoplifting, that's
A little
still,
bit, but
that
we
goes
not.
with it, not
Yeah.
like in your big stores,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, it's there.
They're all
Okay,
there.
Kids can go so good, they can swipe half gallons of ice cream.
Yeah.
Cartons of cigarettes.
Carton cigarettes, that's the thing, but you, high school kid get off the bus and come in and get a half gallon of ice cream, get back on the bus before you catch you.
You can tell stories all day long.
Another one you really want to know is when the Gandys were in town.
Oh,
When he
yeah.
swipes take the sausage, but you got to put the tag in there. And who the hell's gonna go after it? That was what we all laughed about. He had the tag sticking out of his mouth.
And we had one lady that had money to burn, but she would constantly take things and stick them in her purse. She didn't know any better. She was ill. And but she would really fill her purse.
I confronted her then when I took her out to the car with her and said, listen, you got this lunch meat in your purse, but you didn't take it, I wouldn't take it out. Oh, she would not admit it, and a week later she died. Some of the things are funny, that way how it happens.
Rudy, did your average age of your customers ever change?
Change.
I'm just thinking, you know, did you have more kids maybe before than you do now?
No, I think we've always had more of the older kind. The younger generation nowadays want more and more variety and stuff that we just don't have.
Well, as an example, I had 5 or 6 boys in there Friday night. And I looked at them and I said, if you're wondering why I'm watching you is, you know, there's problems with long fingers. And they said, looked at me and I said, yeah. There's some kids just don't know how to leave things alone. And he said, oh. And I said that swimming is coming up and swimming is bad news. But I'm warning you kids, so you tell the other ones that, hey, don't do that. And he didn't say anything. I said, well, you behave. You don't have to worry. He said, okay, because I know every one of you, who you are, except there was 2. One had a cap on and I didn't know who was. And then there was another one. I said, oh yeah, now I know who you are. I know who all you kids are. And I said, don't have to think that I'm an old crab or crank. I'm just trying to keep you straight. Because once you get into that, and I said, there's a little guy that's with you. He knows what it's like to take things. Because his mom brought him back into the store, was it last fall? And he cried that he had taken something and he didn't pay for it. And they all said, no, that's the way it is. That's what happens when you don't behave. You gotta suffer it out. And he's been the best little boy I've ever seen since. But you put him and take your arm around him and you talk to him. And it goes over with. But they'll never steal again. And I had a girl from going to confirmation class. And she was over in the dry goods by the books and the tablets and that. And I thought I saw her take something that I don't know why. Just a little goofy up here. And finally I walked over to her and I said, where did you come from? Confirmation class. I said, did they teach you how to take those things without paying for it? No. I said, well, then why don't you put it back? Unless you really need it, I'll give it to you. So she put it back. That was the end of that stealing. Never again.
Best juvenile court in the world.
Well, the thing is, you can't beller at them and shake the stuff out of them because then you're in court. So you just have to sort of talk to them, and always a hug goes a long, long way. So that's what I believe in. So other than that, that's my 50 years of trotting after Rudy. I've done the bookkeeping all those years. And sometimes you want to say, oh, that's enough of that crap.
Yeah, think all the potato salad.
Oh, we don't even talk about potato salad.
Now, there's a lot of stories you could tell. Maybe I should tell this one. It's one I really had a laugh at. I couldn't laugh at the lady. This lady came in to buy some meat. I didn't much fun. Just an older lady now. Not a young lady, you know, either. And she wanted pork hocks. How many people buy pork hocks? You can't have them. She said, I want some pork hocks. Well, she looked at me and she says, well, you should ask you. I gotta have them today. What do you say? You can't stand there. Then spring came along, or maybe next year or so, and she was buying tomato plants separately, and she saw plants too. And there was a tomato plant in there with a weed in there. I said, you be careful and sure take good care for this little plant here. That's when it's be good for you. She took it home, she planted it. About 2 months later, she goes next, what the hell did that plant you sold me? That was a weed. I said, I got you this time. Another one with plants in the movie, sell plants. This lady bought these plants, she brought them back to me, and she said, how do I plant these things? And there was another lady over there standing there kind of watching us, you know, when she goes, well, I said, she's one that always likes to get you, you know. I said, you're taking the plant roots to the sun. Oh, okay. She laughed at me. Went home, and the little gal over there, she came over to me afterwards. Is that how you plant plants to make them grow? Well, that I better quit. Or somebody else got someone's question?
I always remember when I would come in during the summertime and I'd say, Rudy, I need some cucumbers. And he'd say, just a minute. And he'd run home, pick some cucumbers.
Yeah, well, we can find some somewhere. Maybe I had to go over to Clifford's garden.
It was an interesting life, and I hope we can retire someday. Because I really don't think we should keep at it for another 5-10 years. But as the story goes, poor Elma lost their grocery store, Fountain City lost theirs, and you know, we could be too. Nothing impossible.
Gotta have one around somewhere.
Well, I sure hope that it will work out that way. But if the poor guy that wants to buy can't get the money, then what do we do? There's a good question. What do you do when they want to buy and can't get the money? It's tough.
That's it.
So that's
Go
the
to
way
the
it is.
farmer, that borrow some money.
Yeah.
He died though.
Oh, okay, well, never mind.
Maybe the grandkids won't give him money though.
It's been good. And thank you guys all for being here. It's wonderful. I hope it wasn't too boring.
No.
Okay. So.